Across London on 1458 AM and DAB, smart speaker, mobile app and LeicaRadio.com.
This is Leica Radio.
On the Sky News Centre at 9. Wildfires in Hawaii are now the deadliest in the US for 100 years. At least 89 people have been confirmed dead. The state's governor's warning that figure will rise. Josh Green has been counting the cost of the destruction.
2,200 structures have been destroyed or damaged. 86% are residential. The losses approach $6 billion in estimate.
Labour claims the government's been a total failure on immigration after 6 people in a small boat died off the coast of France yesterday. Dozens of others were rescued by French and British authorities. Shadow Education Secretary Bridget Phillipson says we need a serious government, that what we're getting currently is gimmicks and headlines.
That is not the answer, and I think the British people deserve a lot better than these ridiculous, ludicrous and increasingly unworkable schemes that just aren't going to deliver what I think we all want to see, which is a fair migration and immigration system.
The government insists tackling the migrant crisis is among its top priorities. The UK Health Secretary is offering long-term waiting list support in Scotland and Wales. Steve Barclay has written to the devolved administrations, inviting them for talks on how all parts of the UK can work together on the issue. Sport. England's Courtney Lawes says they must improve their discipline ahead of the Rugby World Cup. Steve Borthwick's side picked up 3 yellow cards while captain Owen Farrell was sent off during a 1917 warm-up win over Wales at Twickenham.
Probably not good enough, going down to 12 men. If we keep putting ourselves in them kind of situations, we're not likely to do as well as we are today, so a lot to learn.
British boxer Anthony Joshua set up a potential showdown with American Deontay Wilder with a 7th round stoppage of Robert Helenius in London. Newcastle made an impressive start to the Premier League season, beating Aston Villa 5-1, and Rangers made up for a disappointing start to their Scottish Premiership campaign by beating Livingston 4-0 at Ibrox. And that's the latest. I'm Tanya Snuggs.
The 100, presented by Compare the Market.
It's a music tournament with amazing cricket.
No, it's a cricket tournament with amazing music.
With explosions.
He means fireworks.
And huge fiery shooting things.
He means flame machines.
There's also amazing DJs and big foamy pour things.
He means... Oh, actually, there are those things.
And best of all,
the world-class cricket
is that we are the sponsor.
Oh, of course.
The 100, presented by Compare the Market.
Simples.
Winner of Radio Station of the Year at the Asian Media Awards.
Leica Radio, London.
Leica Radio weather.
Today's weather: sunny intervals and moderate breeze in London and surrounding areas. Top temperature 22 centigrade. Sunset is at 8:28 p.m.
Yeah.
Leica Radio. Leica Radio.
Flight updates are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Flights, hotels and holidays.
Let's go for a flight update. All flights are as scheduled, but please check with your flight operators before heading to the airport.
Flight updates were brought to you by TravelUp.com. Lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com. Call 0207 580 5000. Talking Points with Keith Vaz. Celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Leica Radio.
Good morning and welcome to the 173rd edition of Talking Points on Leica Radio with me, Keith Vaz. Happy birthday this week to Cuba. I hope you enjoyed your visit to London. Let's now go around the world to get the top news story of this week. The UK's election watchdog has revealed it has been the victim of a complex cyber attack, potentially affecting millions of voters. The Electoral Commission said unspecified hostile actors had managed to gain access to copies of the electoral registers from August 2021. Hackers also broke into its emails and control systems, but the attack was not discovered until October last year. The watchdog has warned people to watch out for unauthorized use of data. 41 migrants have died in a shipwreck off the Italian island of Lampedusa, survivors told local media. A group of 4 people who survived the disaster told rescuers that they were on board a boat that had set off from Sfax in Tunisia and sank on its way to Italy. The 4 survivors originally were from the Ivory Coast in Guinea. They reached Lampedusa only last Wednesday. My first special guest on the program today is a glass ceiling breaker. Tegan Summer is a writer, lyricist and producer of Timeless Stage and Screen and is a National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People and Ovation Award winner. He writes and produces musicals for Broadway and the West End and is currently a producer on Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber's hit Aspects of Love at the Lyric Theatre here in London. From Greenwich, we're going over to Epping. Not quite Epping Forest, but just Epping in Essex, where I'll be talking to my second special guest on the programme, Dr. Rana Al-Falaki. She walks the talk when it comes to optimal performance. As a lifetime high achiever and high performer, she brings together her 30 years experience of success with thousands of clients, as well as her own personal life challenges. She also will tell us how to deal with stress. But before all that, let's have some music. Let's listen to one of my favourites, Choti Si Asha.
दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की, भोली सी आशा, चांद तारों को छूने की आशा, आसमानों में उड़ने की आशा, दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की, भोली सी आशा, चांद तारों को छूने की आशा, आसमानों में उड़ने की आशा, दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा. छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की, भोली सी आशा, चांद तारों को छूने की आशा, आसमानों में उड़ने की आशा, दिल है छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की, भोली सी आशा. छोटा सा, छोटी सी आशा, मस्ती भरे मन की, भोली सी आशा, चांद तारों को छूने की आशा, आसमानों में उड़ने की आशा, दिल छोटा सा छोटी सी आशा मस्ती भरे मन की भोली सी आशा
Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I hope you enjoyed the music. My first guest on the programme is something of a glass ceiling breaker. Tegan Summer is the writer, lyricist and producer of Timeless Stage and Screen and is a National Association for the Advancement of Coloured People and Ovation Award winner. He writes and produces musicals for Broadway and the West End and is currently a producer on Sir Andrew Lloyd Webber's Aspects of Love at the Lyric Theatre here in central London. He is the worldwide stage theatrical rights owner for global icons James Dean, Betty Page, Malcolm X, Amelia Earhart and Harvey Milk, amongst many others. He's about to go into pre-production for his Nicholas Brothers musical with Kenny Leone's True Colours Theatre Company, which he is bringing here in addition to Mozart's Her Story, the new musical which is premiered at New York's Carnegie Hall, for which he wrote the script and lyrics. Tegan Summer is the former board president of the Amass Musical Theatre, a board member of the Foundation for New American Musicals, and a member of the National Alliance for Musical Theatre and the Dramatists Guild. My goodness, it is not often that we get an impresario of his distinction on the programme. We are just not worthy. I am delighted to welcome him. He joins me from quite near the Cutty Sark in Greenwich. Good morning, Tegan Summer.
Good morning, Keith. Yes, that was a mouthful. Wow.
It was very impressive because you are actually the first, if I can call you, a theatre impresario that we've ever had on Leica Radio in all the hundreds of editions that we've had. So you're very welcome. But it's an unusual career path. What made you choose that as opposed to being an engineer?
It all stems from my school days. We have a very large family. And growing up, I would leave school at, 3:30 p.m. And I was a latchkey kid, basically. So instead of going home, I would wander around the Royal Festival Hall and the Strand and the Theatre District before I would want to go home. And I would happen across rehearsals and the last part of matinees, etc. And that was it. I was in and around the theatres literally from 3:30 right through sometimes to 7 p.m. Then I would go home. And I met these wonderful, wonderful people, these writers, these producers, the theatre owners, and they would welcome me with open arms. And I'd see these magical musicals being created. I mean, I had no idea at that age it was the likes of Les Mis or Miss Saigon, etc.
You didn't know what they were, but you knew it was something big. But what about your mum and dad? Didn't they say, my God, where is our son? Why is he doing all this stuff?
Well, strangely, I'm the youngest child. So,
as I am, by the way.
So I wasn't really paying much attention to in terms of what I was doing. No, I'm exaggerating, of course, but they knew I always, I kept my head down in school, I worked hard, and so whatever I did, they would support. My father was somewhat absent, but my mother was always very supportive in everything I did. And they did what they could. They would they landed in Forest Gate, part of the Windrush migration. And so it was I won't say a common story, but my mother was a nurse and she did what she could, raising a very large family by herself, ostensibly by herself, really, with support from my older siblings, especially my older sisters.
Now, diversity is very much part of your life. You are one of the very, very few black theatre supremos anywhere in the world. We have you in London because we claim you as one of our own. Why is diversity so important to you? And I don't just mean the diversity of the black and white communities and all the colours in between, but also the LGBT plus communities. Why is it important to you? People use the word diversity, but it doesn't really mean much to a lot of people, but it means a lot to you. Why is it important?
Absolutely. I mean, I call myself a theatre carny of old. If I was in the 30s and 40s, 1930s and 40s, I'd be an old school carny. I was raised by the theatre community. And to a large degree, that's the LGBT community. Diversity for me means representation across a wide range of trait backgrounds and experiences, and that lens can be widened as well to idiosyncrasies. It's where we can connect and engage with different perspectives than our own. That's where I believe where we can be more successful in achieving our own aspirations, having more vision, more insight, more consideration in terms of creating an environment where we feel more comfortable sharing our views, and where differences are genuinely respected and appreciated.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a fascinating conversation with a glass ceiling breaker, Tegan Summer. When we come back, I'm going to ask him about film versus theatre and also how he chooses which life to own. Join me after the break.
बैठी बैठी मैं तूने आग भर दी, खाली बोतल में शराब भर दी। तेरी कसम बिल्कुल सीधी सादी थी, मैं तूने लड़की खराब कर दी।
तो समझ ले, मैं बोलूं का मैं आंखों से पढ़ ले। गेम के टॉप पे बैठा, जिसके भी बस की वो आके पकड़ ले। इनसे गेम क्रैक ही नहीं हो रहा ना, हिट कोई ट्रैक ही नहीं हो रहा ना। यहाँ फिर मैंने सीन चेंज किया और कुछ लोगों का कमबैक ही नहीं हो रहा। बादशाह है नाम मेरी जान, प्यार से मुझको वो पैडी बोलती है। गेम में लॉन्डो का बापू बेबी, एक तू ही थोड़ी है जो मुझे डैडी बोलती है।
सुबह से शाम तक बस तेरा नाम लूं, तुझको जो देखूं मैं दिल अपना थाम लूं। जो तू मुझे छू ले तो बदन में सनसनी, खुद को समझाती हूँ कि सब्र से काम लूं। नींदें मेरी तूने हराम कर दी, गंदी मेरी तूने ज़बान कर दी। तेरी कसम बिल्कुल सीधी सादी थी, मैं तूने लड़की खराब कर दी।
कोई उंगली करता है हाँ, तो मैं बाँ भी चढ़ाता हूँ। पर सामने हो बंदी तो मैं गुड बॉय बन जाता हूँ। या उड़ती हैं खबरें लेता ना स्ट्रेस, गेम का कार्ट ऑन टू द नेक्स्ट। प्लेन है प्राइवेट लाइफ है ब्लेस, मुट्ठी में गेम मेरे घंटे पे प्रेस। बैड बॉय शाह कैसे तुझे तेरे बस का लगा, ना मुझे ऐसे मस्का लगा। रही ना किसी काम धाम की जब से लड़की को चस्का लगा मेरा।
लड़की खराब कर दी।
London's biggest Asian hits. Leica Radio.
Mom, have you bought some of those delicious noodles? You mean Coca, the king of noodles? Coca means delicious. Variety of flavors available in Coca packet, Coca cup and Coca bowl noodles. Suitable for vegetarians and halal approved. The king of noodles, Coca noodles, packets, cups and bowls, now available everywhere in the UK.
When it comes to mouth-watering flavored products, then Al Noor Foods is the choice for you. From masala, sauces, jelly, juices, biscuits, desi atta and much more, Al Noor Foods stands out. Available at all Asian grocery stores or call 020-8813-9977. Al Noor, taste the difference.
Bumblebee Sales and Lettings. We offer a range of services to meet your property needs, be they sales or achieving top market rents. We can maximise your return with competitive fees and no hidden costs. We are a publicly owned company, so 100% of our profits are invested back into local services. Call Bumblebee Sales and Lettings on 020-8359 3399 and book your free no obligation valuation. Mention Leica Radio and we'll throw in a free rent guarantee and legal cover policy for the first year for Bumblebee Sales and Lettings. Not your normal agent. T's and C's apply.
Joyful Entertainment presents Ek Sham Altaf Raja ke naam.
तो ठहरे परदेसी
मैं अल्ताफ राजा आ रहा हूँ आपके शहर लंदन में
Live in concert on Sunday 17th September at Hitchin High School, Headstone Lane, Harrow, HA36NR. For tickets, contact Videorama, Panachand Pan House, Eventbrite or call Jishnu Soni on 07877 168 869.
Radio partner Leica Radio and Leica Gold Radio.
Dad!
What's wrong, beta?
The Indian rupee has skyrocketed and it's the best time to send money to Daddy in India.
I will run down to the money exchange now.
No, Dad, you can do it from your sofa. Download the Yono SBI UK mobile app and you'll get a fast service right from your phone.
Oi, balle balle. I'm going to tell all my friends to download the Yono SBI UK mobile app and take advantage of their competitive rates.
SBI UK is regulated by the FCA and PRA.
The future is unpredictable at times, but the Open University are the experts in distance learning, allowing you to fit study around your life. What's more, you'll have support from dedicated tutors every step of the way. Now suddenly your possibilities are open. Register by the 7th of September to get started. The Open University. The future is open.
Discover Europe's magic with Star Tours. 2 to 18 days, Indian meals, lifelong memories. Call Star Tours now on 0208 900 2323 or visit startours.co.uk.
Star Tours.
लखनऊ के नवाब लंदन आने को बेताब ऑथेंटिक रॉयल मुगलई कुजीन के साथ तशरीफ ला रहे हैं अवध रेस्टोरेंट
लहसुनी पालक पनीर लखनवी मलाई कोफ्ता बैंगन मिर्ची का सालन गलावटी कबाब काकोरी कबाब मुर्ग जाफरानी कोरमा आलू मुर्ग का सालन भुना गोश्त और पसंदा
अवध रेस्टोरेंट 13 हाई स्ट्रीट विनर
ओपनिंग ऑफर ग्लास ऑफ बियर विद एवरी मील
Sunny Deol is back.
तुझे तारा सिंह को पहचानते नहीं?
As Tara Singh.
दुश्मनों ने पूछो तारा सिंह कौन है?
In the most anticipated sequel of the year.
मैं निकला ओ गड्डी लेके.
Z Studios presents Gadar 2.
उड़ जा काले कावा तेरे मुंह विच खंड पावा.
Gadar 2 in cinemas on 11th August.
देसा मेरा मैं सदके जावा.
Utsav Plus presents the Sublime UK Tour. Satinder Sartaaj live with RGB Direct. He's back to take you on a musical journey like no other. 28th August, Bank Holiday Weekend over Arena, Wembley, London.
Ticket bookings lay log on karo www.sartajlive.com या call करो 0207 099 6742.
Powered by Sira Cash and Carry.
Supported by Leica Radio and Leica Gold Radio.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Leica Radio.
Keith Vaz on Talking Points. Leica.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm talking to Tegan Summer, the chief executive of Timeless Stage, a glass ceiling breaker, about Theatreland. Tegan, how do you decide which particular artist or person, who obviously has passed away, like James Dean and Harvey Milk and others, will be of interest to the public? I mean, how do you choose, for example, someone like James Dean as opposed to, or Harvey Milk, as opposed to Tsar Nicholas II?
I always want to tell stories of the disenfranchised, the underdog, those that do not necessarily have a voice every single day. Look at Harvey Milk. He was a champion of, again, those that could not speak for themselves in terms of representation, in terms of how he saw himself growing up. He was then in a position to exact some change. Again, using that word, exact some agency in terms of social change and changing the zeitgeist and how we think. And unfortunately, his life was truncated. He was assassinated, as many are aware. So what I can do is I can continue his legacy. I can tell his story through theatre, and theatre is forever. We can also look at the direction of channel in terms of the message that we want to tell in terms of writing another show and another show. It is never ending, the mechanism and the story of theatre.
But theatre always seems to be in competition. I mean, it still seems to be an elitist creative art. If you look at the phenomenal success of, for example, Barbie and Oppenheimer, Barbie crossed the $1 billion take this week. Is there actually any money in theatre? Having said that, whenever I've been to the theatre, the last one I went to was to see the musical Tina Turner. It was absolutely packed. It cost a fortune to get in, and there were lots of tourists. Are we still in competition, or do you know your niche in theatre, and how do we break through to the Black and Asian communities? Even in Tina, there weren't many black people in the audience, I have to tell you.
Well, I mean, it's all about the subject matter. I was at the Apollo Theatre recently. NYMEX Theatres, they produced a show that was just groundbreaking for me, called For Black Boys Who Considered Suicide When the Hue Became Too Heavy. And every single night at the Apollo Theatre in the West End, the theatre was full of the Black and Asian community because they were observing, watching, taking in stories about themselves. Even I, and I say even because I'm in the theatre, I watched that show and I saw representations of myself growing up in the East End of London right through to today. So it's all about what story is on the stage. That informs the audience member that is coming to your show.
Now, what's next for you? You are half the age of Andrew Lloyd Webber, but you have taken Broadway by storm, and also the West End. Aspects of Love is doing phenomenally well. What's next for you in the work that you do? Is it choosing these subjects, or can you, for example, own your own theatre and run your own plays so you don't have to ask somebody else? You can just do whatever you want.
I have to pick my battles. Those are two very different. Those are two very different life choices. I mean, I'm a producer. I'm a script writer, what we call a book writer. I write the book, I write lyrics, and I'm a producer. I would always want to steer my life and in terms of the content rather than the house, rather than the bricks and mortar of the theatre. Because then we have more of a say in what we want to represent, what we want to write, and the message we want to deliver. And that's often based on what's happening in the world today. Obviously, post-George Floyd, right back to Stephen Lawrence, to a George Floyd, that is race relations and civil liberties. We look at the LGBTQ community and the trans community that was being oppressed in New York over the past 10 years, more so than we have seen in recent memory. It's a great time to, and LGBTQ in general, over the past 10 years, we've shone a light on the issues at hand and the oppression. So it's, for me, Harvey Milk, it's time to tell that story.
Tegan Summer, we could actually create a whole series about this. It's been fascinating talking to you. It's been a pleasure talking to you this morning. We always ask our special guests to choose a song that means something special to them and to dedicate it to someone special. Which song would you like to choose, and to whom would you like to dedicate it to?
I've always loved Seasons of Love from the musical Rent by Jonathan Larson. How do you measure a year in your life? And the song describes and goes through a journey of measuring it via certain means, and it always comes home to measure in love. Measure your life in love. And I would love to dedicate this and wish all the best to all of your listeners of Leica Radio. Measure your life in love.
What a lovely, lovely message. I think we will start opening the measuring cylinder straight away. It's been great talking to you. Have a great Sunday.
Thank you, Keith, and thank you very much for having me on the program.
Let's hear Tegan Summer's song.
minutes, 525,000 moments, oh dear. 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year? In daylights, in sunsets, in midnights, in cups of coffee, in inches, in miles, in laughter and strife. In 525,600 minutes. How do you measure a year in the life? How about love? How about
London's biggest Asian hits. Leica Radio.
Time checks are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Our lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com or call 0207 580 5000.
Leica Radio.
Traffic and travel.
I'm Michael Page. On the M25 anti-clockwise, it's getting busy now approaching the Dartford tunnels. The right-hand tunnel is still closed because of maintenance work, and it's also looking busy clockwise on the M25 approaching junction 3 at the A20. There's a lane closed on the exit slip. Heading into London, looks like there might be a problem on the M4 on the race section between junctions 3 and 1. It's looking a little bit busy on the sensors and cameras. Staying in the west, in Acton, the North Circular is part blocked southbound at the Gunnersbury Lane traffic lights at Gunnersbury Park because of an accident. And in North London at Finchley, the North Circular is still looking busy westbound between the High Road and Henley's Corner because of an accident that's part blocking the road. On the tubes, the District Line has severe delays between Earls Court and Kensington Olympia because of cancellations. And that's the latest traffic and travel.
The Army Skynet 5 satellites can establish comms lines anywhere, but only a soldier can adapt their voice to the situation on the ground. Giving orders and taking control. Reassuring local civilians. Staying calm in a medical emergency. Or knowing when it's best just to listen. Nothing can do what a soldier can do. Army, recruiting now. Search Army jobs.
This is Leica Radio.
सस्ती से सस्ती फ्लाइट्स और हॉलिडे पैकेज चाहिए तो 24 घंटे 7 दिन किसी भी समय ट्रैवल हब का नंबर मिलाइए फॉर क्रूज टेलर मेड हॉलिडे होटल बुकिंग्स एंड हनीमून पैकेजेस हमसे सस्ता कहीं नहीं मिल सकता कॉल ट्रैवल हब 24/7 on 0208-782-8833 or visit travelhubltd.co.uk.
Travel Hub, best service with unbeatable price.
At all protected.
Visit travelhubltd.co.uk.
Punjab National Bank International Limited launches mobile app for personal customers. Whether you want to send money to India or view your latest balance, do that on the go. Simply download our app for free from your mobile app store. Terms and conditions apply. For more details, please visit
www.pnbint.com. Deposit protection from FSCS. Authorized by the PRA and regulated by FCA and PRA.
रॉकी और रानी की प्रेम कहानी स्टारिंग रणवीर सिंह एंड आलिया भट्ट A saga of grand love between two different families. A film by Karan Johar in his 25th anniversary year. Now showing at your favorite cinemas.
When it comes to mouth-watering flavored products, then Al Noor Foods is the choice for you. From masala, sauces, jelly, juices, biscuits, desi atta and much more, Al Noor Foods stands out. Available at all Asian grocery stores or call 020-8813-9977. Al Noor, taste the difference.
Haldiram brings you the most loved Indian sweets which are freshly made in UK. Now order your favorite Haldiram products online only on haldiramuk.com. Also available at your local Asian store at super special prices.
Utsav Plus presents the Sublime UK Tour. Satinder Sartaaj live with RGB Direct. He's back to take you on a musical journey like no other. 28th August, Bank Holiday Weekend, OVO Arena, Wembley, London.
Ticket bookings lay log on karo www.sartajlive.com या call करो 0207 099 6742.
Powered by Sira Cash and Carry.
Supported by Leica Radio and Leica Gold Radio.
The future is unpredictable at times, but the Open University are the experts in distance learning, allowing you to fit study around your life. What's more, you'll have support from dedicated tutors every step of the way. Now suddenly your possibilities are open. Register by the 7th of September to get started. The Open University. The future is open.
सहाजा आयुर्वेदिक हर्बल मेडिसिन कंसल्टेशन सेंटर। हम हमारे खानदान से नाड़ी देख के सभी समस्याओं के लिए जड़ी बूटियों की दवाई देते हैं। अस्थमा, एलर्जी, स्किन प्रॉब्लम, सोराइसिस, कमर या घुटनों में दर्द, आर्थराइटिस, हेयर प्रॉब्लम, गैस ट्रबल, अल्सर्स, लेडीज प्रॉब्लम, वेट लॉस, सेक्सुअल प्रॉब्लम्स। कॉन्टैक्ट वैद्य रत्नम PV Raj 499 High Road, Wembley, or call 07341 954 351 07341 954 351।
लखनऊ के नवाब लंदन आने को बेताब ऑथेंटिक रॉयल मुगलई कुजीन के साथ तशरीफ ला रहे हैं अवध रेस्टोरेंट।
लहसुनी पालक पनीर, लखनवी मलाई कोफ्ता, बैंगन मिर्ची का सालन, गलावटी कबाब, काकोरी कबाब, मुर्ग जाफरानी कोरमा, आलू मुर्ग का सालन, भुना गोश्त और पसंदा।
अवध रेस्टोरेंट 13 हाई स्ट्रीट विनर।
Opening offer, glass of beer with every meal.
फिर प्रारंभ हो रहा है ज्ञान का सबसे बड़ा अध्याय।
5G की स्पीड से अपग्रेड होकर के नए अप्रोच के साथ इस नए दौर में आप सभी का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है। प्रारंभ करता हूँ ज्ञानदार, धनदार, शानदार, कौन बनेगा करोड़पति।
Starts tomorrow, 9 p.m. only on Sony TV.
DS Entertainment presents an evening of Ek Mein aur Ek Tu. With singers Alok Katdare and Mona Kamad Prabhu Gaonkar from Mumbai singing your favourite songs on Sunday the 27th of August at the Blue Room in Harrow from 6:30 p.m. Hosted by Leica Gold's Bali Brahmbhatt. Enjoy a wonderful evening with a 3-course meal. For more info, call Anisa at the Blue Room or Daksha on 077 52 09 8506. Ek Mein aur Ek Tu.
Beyond its heavenly beauty.
कश्मीर चल रहा है।
कश्मीर में देखते थे यश चोपड़ा की फिल्में शिकारा।
आप पर एक इल्जाम है कि आपने ढेर सारे कश्मीरी पंडितों की जान ली।
And beyond the blockbuster lie the unheard voices from the valley and unheard cries of the oppressed.
Discover Kashmir's truth through real stories. From the makers of The Kashmir Files comes the powerful docuseries The Kashmir Files Unreported. Streaming now only on Z5. Subscribe right away.
Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. My second special guest on the programme today is Dr. Rana Al-Falaki. She walks the talk when it comes to optimal performance. As a lifetime high achiever and high performer, she brings together her 30 years experience of success with thousands of clients as well as her own personal life challenges, where she paid the cost for high performance without optimization to enable others to master and harness incredible achievement that is not only sustainable but infiltrates every aspect of life. My goodness, that was a mouthful. She is a health and performance expert centered around how stress and human behavior can be manipulated to both enhance and degrade human performance, from overachieving to chronic inflammatory disease. My goodness, this is exactly what I need. Someone who can manipulate my stress. Let's go and find out how to do it. Let's go over to Epping in Essex and talk to Dr. Rana Al-Falaki. Good morning, Dr. Al-Falaki.
Good morning, Keith. Thanks for having me on your show today.
Well, you've done so much. You've been featured on many magazine covers. You've been on TV writing books, and you're also a doctor. Why are you so passionate about this particular area of life? Because it's not mainstream medicine, is it?
Not really, no. So obviously I was trained through mainstream medicine, dentistry in fact, but my particular specialty is periodontics, which is inflammation in the body, but it's around the teeth, and it's what causes people to lose their teeth. And it's actually now an indicator for early death because it's linked to heart disease, Alzheimer's, stroke, diabetes, and all kinds of other nasty stuff. So that was really my passion, because one of the main etiological factors in it is stress and lifestyle changes. So I spent 30 years listening to patients talk about their stress, their negative life events, their habits, their behavior, and really tapping into how we could manipulate that to improve their overall health. And that, coupled with my own life story, is what has led me into this field.
Now, the word stress, that 6-letter word, is probably uttered by every single person who is listening to the program this morning, the hundreds of thousands who listen into Leica on a weekly basis. You're suggesting that we can actually manipulate that stress. How are we able to do that? Is it an easy thing to do, or does it take time to learn how to do it?
I mean, there are some very easy strategies, and obviously there are other things that take time. I think one element is how we actually view stress in the first place. You know, some patients will say to me, I don't do stress, the word isn't even in my vocabulary, and others will play victim to it. The key word being their victim. So if we allow the idea that stress is going to get on top of me and I'm going to be ill and I can't cope, all of that creates a self-talk within our brain that then rewires our brain and our biological symptoms to then fall prey to stress. That's a very quick, easy answer. Obviously, there are communication strategies, things we tell ourselves, ways that we behave, but we can turn it to our advantage.
Do you think that the benchmarks for whether you have succeeded are clear for those people that you help? Do they come back to you and say, well, as a result of what you've told me to do, actually, I now lead a stress-free life? Is that what happens at the end of the treatment, if we call it treatment?
Yeah, we wouldn't call it treatment. It's that people actually end up coming on an event or a retreat, and certainly their outlook changes. I mean, everything is a slow process. You've got to rewire 30, 40, 50 years of thinking into a new way. What I do know happens probably in as quickly as the first few weeks after one of these NAILIT experiences is that people say, I'm feeling much happier, I'm feeling that I can cope a lot better, I'm feeling much more energized, I'm not allowing things to get on top of me in the same way. So we just start with simple coping strategies, emotional intelligence tools, communication skills, all of which add into our ability to reduce our stress and improve our relationships and ultimately our health.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a very interesting conversation with Dr. Rana Al-Falaki. In fact, just talking to her, I feel less stressed than I would do normally on a Sunday morning. She's the founder of NAILIT, and she's also an expert in management of leadership and leadership in energy, and a best-selling author. We're going to take a short break. Let's talk to her further when we get back.
मुझे आते जाते जो दिखता है वो चांद सा चेहरा किसका है और कहीं मैं क्या देखूं तेरी आंखों में रब दिखता है नदी झील या पर्वत है या कोई खजाना ख्वाबों का चंदन सा जो महक रहा है इत्र है तेरी सांसों का तेरी चुनरी सर की सर से जो दिल मेरा धड़के जोरों से मैं चांद सितारे क्या देखूं मुझे इश्क हुआ तेरी अखियों से मुझे इश्क हुआ तेरी अखियों से धुन सी बजती रहती है मैं शाम सवेरे सुनता हूँ रंग बिरंगे फूलों को मैं बैठ के चुनता रहता हूँ बिखरा दूँ तेरी राहों में इस इंतजार में रहता हूँ मैं चांद सितारे क्या देखूं मुझे इश्क हुआ तेरी अखियों से मैं चांद सितारे क्या देखूं मुझे इश्क हुआ तेरी अखियों से मुझे इश्क हुआ तेरी अखियों से
Keith Vaz on Talking Points. Leica.
अरे अब कहाँ गया हैप्पी
हैप्पी एक जगह टिकता ही नहीं पाँव में उसके चक्कर
अरे सुबह को हैप्पी सिंगापुर में रात को हैप्पी जलंधर
इटली,
कभी दुबई,
कभी स्कॉटलैंड।
हेलो मान ट्रैवल, कल की 2 टिकट्स पेरिस की बुक करवा दो प्लीज। बेबे को ले जा रहा हूँ पेरिस घुमाने।
हैप्पी की हैप्पीनेस का राज ट्रैवल है और आपकी हैप्पीनेस का भी। कॉल 0208099900। मान ट्रैवल, बस टिकट्स बुक कीजिए और हैप्पी हो जाइए।
I've got friends coming over tonight. Could you help me with your special biryani, Mom?
Of course, son. You just need to add them.
With Ding, you can send a mobile recharge to Mom or anyone else. Whether it's more data for scrolling online or more minutes for those weekly calls, you can top them up instantly with Ding. Ding is the world's leading mobile top-up service. It's safe, secure, and has 24 hours customer support. Pick back up where you left off. Keep them recharged with Ding.
Thanks for the top-up, son.
Enjoy 50% off your first mobile top-up with the code DINGRadio on the Ding app or ding.com.
5.25%?
Yes, you have heard it correct. ICICI Bank UK is offering annual equivalent rate of 5.25% interest rate on their Super Saver bond for a period of 6 months or 1 year with a minimum deposit of just £1,000.
Also, it's very simple to open it.
Just call 0344 412 4444
or visit any ICICI Bank UK branch.
ICICI Bank UK. हम है ना ख्याल आपका. ICICI Bank UK PLC is authorized by the PRA and regulated by the FCA and PRA. Terms and conditions apply.
Rewind to the 1800s. Welcome to a Punjab ruled by Britishers, kings and 2 bandit brothers.
Meet the revolutionary Giona Moore and Kishna Moore in the first ever Punjabi period action flick, Moore, starring Emmy Vick and Dave Karor. Streaming now only on Z5.
Experience it in 4K and 4X picture quality and immersive sound. Get the annual 4K plan at 50% off. Subscribe now.
Hi, I'm Farah Khan and I'm coming for the first time with my dance workshop. So put on your dancing shoes and see you all there.
Navish Media presents Farah Khan, India's #1 award-winning choreographer, UK Dance Workshops. Taking place at Alec Reed Academy, Ben Garth Road, Northolt, London on the 18th and the 20th of August. And the Jungle Club on 21 Checkers Road, Leicester. Tickets start from £100 for London and £80 in Leicester. Go online at Eventbrite for tickets. Exclusive radio partner, Leica Radio and Leica Gold Radio. With special thanks to Jamie Snacks.
एक मसालेदार चाय के बारे में सोचते ही बस एक ही नाम याद आए, यूनिक मसाला चाय। इस सर्दी मजा लीजिए यूनिक चाय के अलग अलग मसाले फ्लेवर्स का। सिर्फ गर्म पानी लो और यूनिक चाय के साथ घोल लो। सिर्फ कुछ ही मिनट्स में सबकी फेवरेट यूनिक मसाला चाय तैयार।
Herald, new world of eco-friendly disposables for restaurants, cafes, caterers, food takeaways and food delivery services. Order your free Herald 2023 catalogue today. Call on 0208 507 7900 or download the catalogue from heraldplastic.com. Herald is a manufacturer of high-quality, eco-friendly and cost-effective disposables for restaurants, cafes, caterers, food takeaway and delivery businesses. Herald disposables available at food services, cash and carries and with disposable supplies to trade. Visit heraldplastic.com.
आजकल सेटको के हैं चर्चे हर जबान पर।
सेटको माइक्रोवेव फूड कंटेनर्स के जलवे हैं।
हर तरफ हर जगह
सिर्फ सेटको दिखे, चीजें ताजा रखे और ज्यादा टिके।
इसलिए सेटको पे हर किसी की नजर।
जहाँ जिंदगी वहाँ सेटको माइक्रोवेव फूड कंटेनर्स।
Beyond its heavenly beauty.
कश्मीर चल रहा है।
कश्मीर में देखते थे यश चोपड़ा की फिल्में शिकारा।
आप पर एक इल्जाम है कि आपने ढेर सारे कश्मीरी पंडितों की जान ली।
And beyond the blockbuster lie the unheard voices from the valley and unheard cries of the oppressed.
This Discover Kashmir's truth through real stories. From the makers of The Kashmir Files comes the powerful docuseries The Kashmir Files Unreported. Streaming now only on Z5. Subscribe right away.
Explore UK and Europe with Star Tours. From Paris to Scotland, Cornwall to Switzerland. Call Star Tours now on 0208 900 2323 or visit startours.co.uk.
Star Tours.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm talking to the amazing Dr. Rana Al-Falaki, the founder of Nail It. We'll find out what that means in a second. She's the kind of person we need in our life. She's going to take stress away and she's going to give our energy some leadership. Now, Rana Al-Falaki, you've written a #1 best-selling book, Women Who Want More, subtitled How to Create a Balanced and Fulfilled Life and Be Love, a Conscious Shift to Birthing the Future. What made you write this particular book and why did you choose that particular title?
Yeah, so two different books. The first book was Women Who Want More, How to Create a Balanced and Fulfilled Life. I have to say, in many ways, it was the publisher who chose that last bit of the title. And I've been told by many men, I have no idea why women is in the title because the book applies to them as well and they have fully appreciated it. The book covers a lot of my own life story and my own life struggles and how I overcame them, very much in that example of how I'm able to walk the talk of being a high achiever and a high performer. But in my case, I wasn't happy inside. I wasn't fulfilled inside. I was making the same mistakes again and again. I was victim to stress to the point of chronic illness. So all the things I help other people with, and having done my formal coach training as well as my years of experience as a specialist healthcare worker, I put it all together, combined with my story in this book, Women Who Want More, How to Create a Balanced and Fulfilled Life, which covers all elements of our lives, be it time management, our health, our financial outlook, our fun and enjoyment, and how we can actually create that in our lives.
Now, you're the founder of Nail It. Can you tell our listeners what Nail It actually does? What does it mean? I mean, we know what it means. Let's nail it. But what does it mean in your organization?
Yeah, well, actually, I'm now sitting here in the process of writing my next book, which is called Nail It. So Nail It is an acronym. It stands for Your Needs, Attitude, Integrity, Limitlessness, Intuition, and Tangibility. And it is a formula for optimal performance. Optimal performance being performing in your life in the best possible way without burning out. And that means every aspect of your life. So quite often we are very successful in one area, be that our professional life, but other areas suffer. Or we push ourselves so hard in one area that it's not sustainable. So optimal performance is really about that very holistic, but with a W there, approach to life where you can be successful in every element and really, really, truly thrive using this formula of Nail It, this whole system. And together we typically perform Nail It through a Nail It experience. People will come to a 3-day Nail It event where we'll take people through fun but challenging activities, exercises, both individually and in groups that probably mimic everyday situations, and then we can, so that way we pick out what their coping strategies are and change them.
Finally, give us a tip. How do we have a good life balance? How do we balance our lives between, work life and all the other things that go on in one's life? Is it possible to do this? Is there a formula that fits everybody, or is it different for everybody?
Yeah, I'll give you one very, very powerful tip, which is something we work on a Nail It experience, and that is to imagine yourself at the end of your life and there's a party going on to celebrate your life. And you're no longer there, but you can be a fly on the wall and listen to what people say. And so I challenge you to just think, is this how you want to live your life? Is this what you want people to say about you? Is this how you want to be remembered? And that will push you into determining what your legacy is and how you need to be living your life. It will help to really prioritize what's actually important.
Dr. Rana Al-Falaki, it has been a pleasure talking to you. I am going to nip to Waterstones or go on Amazon and buy a copy of your book. Clearly, it's something that we must all read. Thank you for joining us. I hope you have a fabulous Sunday.
Thank you so much, Keith. And I would like to wish all the guests on Leica Radio a wonderful, special day as well.
मुझे पेप्सी
ये झमेला नो चिक चिक नो झक झक किसी से ना कुछ कहना रोना धोना लेना देना थोड़ा दूर से ना इतना चिपक लाइफ में क्यों लो कॉम्प्लिकेशन रोज किसी को ना दूं एक्सप्लेनेशन हूँ मैं फ्री मेरे स्वैग की बोतल खोलो 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 कसी ओलो मैं स्वैग से सोलो लोग किसी के ना नखरे टीवी का जिंदगी का दोनों रिमोट खुद पकड़े ना लब जब के सपने ना वो कट के झगड़े मेरी गर्लफ्रेंड है फ्रीडम नहीं और कोई लफड़े मैं न पालू बेकार के डंडे फोन पे रहता ना मैं 24 घंटे बात सही है साथ में तुम भी बोलो 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 कसी ओलो मैं स्वैग से सोलो
Time's up for this week. I hope you enjoyed today's program. My thanks to Tegan Summer and Dr. Rana Al-Falaki for joining us today. Special thanks to my producer Rena and editor Adam. To end today's program, I'm going to play Coca 2.0 from Liger, which has been seen 83 million times on YouTube. Please stay tuned for the wonderful Sheena, who follows the news at 10 on Liger Radio, clearly Britain's greatest Asian radio station. This is London, and this has been Talking Points on Liger Radio with Keith Vaz. I hope you have a great Sunday.
Let's go crazy. Let's go.
कलकत्ते तो ले आंदा या ले आंदा गुजरात तो ले आंदा गुजरात तो तंग मैनू करी जांदा बेबी कल रातों हो बेबी कल रातों कलकत्ते तो ले आंदा या ले आंदा गुजरात तो ले आंदा गुजरात तो तंग मैनू करी जांदा बेबी कल रातों हो बेबी कल रातों थोड़ा जा टिक्की लगदा टिप्पी टिप्पी लगदा मैनू ते की लगदा
ओ मेरे कोके दे चारों ओर चर्चे सारे आशिकों के दिल है मचलते ऐसे हिला दूं मैं लखनऊ मुंडे देखे जाए मैनू तक तक के